All right, Sonia, would you introduce our speaker this evening?
Yes, yeah, it's my pleasure. Well, thank you, Deborah, for joining us on pretty short notice. She's just joined the staff at Habitat for Humanity. We had scheduled to meet with Erin Kelly, and she has taken a new role and moved on from there. So she jumped right at the chance to meet with us and talk to us about the mission and the work. I did check. We have been a few years since we've been involved in a build at Habitat. You did ask about that, and I think it may be 2018, maybe, or something like that. But it's been a few years, but we've been, giving through our benevolence fund. And just a few weeks ago, we did a little fundraiser with our noisy coin offering and raised almost $1,000 for Habitat for Humanity. So just in one Sunday, and people are really excited right now. So we're pleased to have you with us and to think about and hear about ways that we can maybe get involved and give some hands to your work and learn about what's happening and then plan for the future. We're hoping to get over to see the site and see the build going on this month. So yeah, that's all I have to say. But thanks again for joining us, and you can take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. As Sonia said, my name is Deborah Richmond, and I just joined Habitat at the beginning of August. So I'm officially 4.5 weeks in, just finished my first month. And so I'm learning a lot. And I thought I would, come here and share with you guys what I'm learning, what we're doing here at Habitat, and how you can get involved. And hopefully I'll keep it to 10 minutes so that Sonia doesn't have to just kick me out of the Zoom altogether. But no, thank you guys so much for having us, and thank you for everything that you do. It's been so incredible in this last month to hear of all the amazing groups that have supported Habitat across Montgomery County. And so we're so grateful and we're blessed to have this support. And as you guys know, we support affordable housing in Montgomery County. And that really is, as we like to say, it's a hand up, not a hand out. So it's really an incredible opportunity to help those who are maybe in a struggling spot. They maybe don't qualify for certain aid, be it government or other charities, but they need safe and affordable housing, and we're able to provide that. And I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir a little bit, but we do that in two different ways. One of them, of course, is our new home build, which you guys are probably very familiar with. And that is, obviously building a new house for a family. And then the other way is repairs to homes. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't know about Habitat Montgomery County, is that we actually provide repairs on homes for people all across the county. Generally, it's a really critical need. Things like roofing, plumbing leaks, siding, just helping them make their home safer, more eco-friendly, if you will, more weatherized, to help bring those costs down on their monthly electric bill. And we run those two programs simultaneously. So both of those programs actually just opened for applications today for our 22-23 build season. And we take those applications, run them through our approval process, which varies by program. And then we start to schedule the families for either a repair or a new build. So that's kind of the super simple 30,000 feet of it. But as we get into our new build, I want to talk a little bit about some of the fun facts that I learned, some of the things that I didn't realize about Habitat. And that is that number one, all of our families that make it through the application process have to go through what we call Habitat University. And it's a 9-course program. And it teaches things like fire safety, home safety, financial literacy and budgeting, and home repairs, just to name a few. And basically the idea is that once they get in their home, we want them to thrive. We don't want them to just have a home but not be able to upkeep it. We want them to be able to really thrive in their home with their families. And so we provide all of those classes free of charge to the families coming through our program. And the financial literacy piece is a part that's near and dear to my heart. And it's very important because not only are these families putting in sweat equity and helping the community, but they're also taking out a mortgage, which is actually something I didn't know about Habitat before I applied for the job. They get a 0% mortgage on the home. And then they make mortgage payments every single month. So they truly are mortgage paying homeowners. And they pay their property taxes just like you and I do. They might have to fight MCAT on that a little bit, but they, they do pay their property taxes every single year, many of them through escrow, again, just like many of us do. And then, of course, they're part of the community. They're buying things at stores, so they're paying sales tax, which is how our state obviously collects tax income to be able to run. So they become really full members of the community and give back at many different levels, not just their time of helping to build their home and helping to build their neighbor's home, but financially they help support the community that we all live in. And, we're very blessed here in Montgomery County. And all of our homeowners have to make between 30 and 60% of the median income, which for a one family household right now falls right around $44,000 a year. So as you can imagine, that is that's a 60%. That's the upper limit of our programs. So as you can imagine, these are people who are on either fixed incomes or maybe different parts of their career, different parts of their family, and they use that money. They're using that income to really just be able to survive. And with the ever increasing prices of homes and rentals, our affordable housing makes it possible for them to live in Montgomery County near their jobs. And, when you think about $40,000 a year, that's about $20 an hour. And so you think about what we're paying different levels of employees. These are not kids working at a fast food joint necessarily. These are families who have, blue collar jobs that are just trying to make ends meet. So so that was the fun facts. Number one, that they go through the Habitat University. Number two, that they do take out a mortgage. And number three, that all of our homeowners are background checked. And I know that sometimes there can be a misconception about housing. And sometimes it gets referred to as low income housing, and that's not the case for Habitat, but all of our homeowners are background checked. And so we, are able to sort of verify a certain level of safety in the neighborhood. And as you guys know, if you've been out to the job site recently, even back in 2018, we do have a 27-acre affordable housing neighborhood. So it's a full neighborhood. So all of these people are coming from, fairly similar backgrounds and working together to have a neighborhood that they're proud of, have homes that they're proud of. And then the children's elementary school is actually right at the front of the neighborhood. So it's really just a great setup for our families, especially the young families with young kiddos who are in elementary school. So I kind of wanted to pause there. Sonia, is it okay to take questions now or?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Thank you for going into that. That was a question I had about who are these applicants? Who are the people that you're putting in?
Right.
Are they all families or are they individuals?
So they can be individuals, and their housing size is based on their family size at the time that they apply and are in the program. So, we do 2, 3, and 4 bedroom housing. So you can't just say, oh, I'd like a bigger house, so I'm going to get something bigger. Based on their family size, we help them build a house that meets their family size. Yep.
Your budget. And everything.
But they can be individuals or just a couple even.
Mm-hmm.
How can we ask questions? Just jump in?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
I have a question. Is there a park in the neighborhood?
So the
Or close by?
current neighborhood does not have a park. It's something that we honestly kind of regret, and we're trying to figure out a way if we can work it in. But as we look at building future neighborhoods, we will add park space.
Okay.
Yeah. With the elementary school right nearby, that does help us out a little bit. They can usually use the playground at the elementary school, so that does help. But yes, the kiddos definitely miss a park.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
A question?
sure.
We've heard before, I think, about a second good-sized neighborhood that's in the
Hey,
future.
Deborah, sorry to jump in. I
Mhm.
think
Where?
there's also some green space down by the river, isn't there? It's not. I don't think it, like you said, it's not a park with playground equipment, but there is some green space down there on the, I guess that's the east
That's correct.
end of the neighborhood.
That's
right?
correct. There's some ponds and then down to the creek or the river, right?
I was just
Sorry,
going
Todd, you
to
were
ask,
asking?
yeah, I was going to ask where the additional new neighborhood stands in its development.
Oh, well, I mean, put me on the spot. We were very generously given, and hopefully I'm not spilling any beans I'm not supposed to. But we were generously given 80 acres out on the west end of the county in Magnolia. And we are looking at if that's, how feasible that is to develop. We do think we can fit probably close to 200 homes in that neighborhood, which would be incredible. So we're just really trying to figure out the need, the finances of it all, and get it all put together.
Okay.
How's that for a not answered answer?
Fair enough. That's what you know. That's what you know. Thank you.
What other questions?
I've got another one also, and I'm glad you kind of talked about the impact of inflation. Has the cost to build a house gone up? I assume it has, but I'm curious if you know how much or what it stands at now.
Absolutely. Just like you guys are seeing costs rise at the grocery store, we all are. Material prices, if you've gone to Home Depot or Lowe's lately, it's affecting all of us. So yes, the simple answer is yes. I think official numbers are probably in the neighborhood of 15 to 20% easily. And a lot of that is just lumber. It's supplies. So a 3-bedroom house right now costs us about $95,000 to build. Whereas a few years ago it was probably about 75 to 80. Yep.
I have another question.
Sure.
Does the bus come by that neighborhood? Yeah, or do they have transportation?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So I'm sorry, do you mean the school bus or the community bus?
I'm talking about a community bus.
I believe so. Forgive my ignorance on that. Again, I only started a month ago. So, but I do believe that the community bus comes by the neighborhood. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But is that a consideration in Magnolia as well? Whether they have transportation or do they have to have their own cars?
It is. It definitely is. It's a consideration in everything that we do, because obviously some of our families do rely on that to get to work. So that's definitely a consideration. With as quickly as Magnolia is growing, we're hoping that the county and the city are going to catch up to us there. But because where it is right now, I don't believe there's a bus to the Magnolia neighborhood currently.
Thank you.
Yeah. What other questions do y'all have?
How many
Scotty?
homes do you build in a year?
So we're currently right about 12 homes a year. Obviously, COVID threw that number completely up in the air. And so we're playing a little bit of catch up on that. But we are very grateful. We have partnerships with a lot of fantastic builders in the area, and some of them are helping us kind of get these homes wrapped up so we can get the families moved in. Our goal is for a family to not have to wait more than 18 months from start of application to move into the house. Because of COVID, that stretched closer to 2 years. And we're really, really working hard to get back down to that 12 to 18 months goal. And some people may ask, that's still a long time, and it is. But our families also, we require sweat equity. So every family has to put in 350 hours of sweat equity on their home. And they don't get assigned a home, a slab to be built until they've hit half of that. So 175 hours.
One more question.
Absolutely.
You mentioned you're just starting to take applications for 2023 build. Do you have any idea what the percentage of acceptance there is to say you get X applicants and some smaller amount are actually approved? Do you have any idea what the accept rate is?
It's usually around 50%, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, anyone can submit an application. So first things first, we have to verify their income. We start to work with them on their credit score, their ability, their affordability of the home, what do their finances look like? And that's gonna weed out quite a bit right away. A lot of that 50% that doesn't make it through to the next round. And it's never, just so you guys know, it's never a no. It's always a, not yet, let's work on this, especially with the credit counseling. And so that's actually something that we offer even to people who are not entirely through the application process yet, helping them come up with a payment plan to get their debts paid down so that they can meet the debt to income ratio that they're going to need to be funded for the mortgage.
And a follow-up, then, do you get more accepts than you can build houses in a year?
Then we can build houses in a year. It's probably right at, and part of that is that we know some people are not, maybe a little bit more than we can build. And part of that is that we know that not everybody's going to hit their sweat equity number.
Okay.
A lot of things happen. People may need to move out of the area. They may not qualify anymore for different reasons. So, there are a few more than we can build for, just because we know that they've got to hit some milestones before we start building their home.
So it sounds like you're able to build pretty much what you need in a given year.
Well, I mean, of course, we always wish we could build faster and reach out to more people. But right now we're doing pretty well. Like I said, as getting with that caveat of getting caught up from COVID. Yes.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Another quick question. I'm not sure if your position, if that's what it was called before, but can you talk about what the strategic partnerships position that you're doing right now? What that
Sure. It's basically a fancy way to say that I'm the fundraiser, but nobody wants to meet with the fundraiser. So my role is fundraising, marketing, and volunteers. So I know you mentioned that you were set to meet with Erin, and Erin was the head of our volunteer services. She's unfortunately decided to go spread her wings somewhere else. We wish her the absolute best. And to that point, I know Sonia wanted me to mention a few of our volunteer opportunities. So volunteers falls under my purview, along with, like I said, marketing and fundraising. And so volunteers come in all shapes and forms, and that includes our new home build, but it also includes our repair side and our restore down on 242. So we do have a resale shop that we are always looking for volunteers to come help out. And I always tell people that's the best way to go, because it's the air conditioned option. So if you like to be inside in the air conditioning, restore is definitely a good fit for you. And then, of course, at our admin offices, we've got different projects going here and there that we might need help with. Everything from your basic office, sorting, copying, collating, filing, shredding, to more specific projects like data entry type things, or, just kind of some cleanup and organization tasks. So we've got a lot of volunteer opportunities going. And yeah, we look forward to you guys joining us. I know, Sonia, am I allowed to mention the tour date?
Yeah. Yep. We're set.
Okay. So I know that we just solidified it, I think this morning, for September 29th for y'all to come out and see the construction site. And we'll show you kind of Habitat houses getting built in action. It's actually a great day to come because we've got another group coming out. About 35 realtors are going to come out and swing some hammers and paint some walls. But we'll also be able to talk about some of our different volunteer opportunities that day as well.
So speaking of volunteer opportunities, I was just speaking with a woman this afternoon who was curious what she needed to do to become a volunteer with Habitat.
Absolutely. So it's super simple. You just visit our website, and we've got an easy form that you fill out and tell us that you want to join. Of course, you guys as a group will be a little different. You're, Sonia and Gary and Todd and whoever else is in charge. I apologize if I left anybody out, but they'll kind of coordinate that for you. But individual volunteers can sign up via the website. What other questions?
I have no skills in building, but I
Me neither, sister. Me neither.
Getting out there and lending a hand. It looks like
we like to tell everybody that you need absolutely no construction experience to come out for the new builds. We have a great construction team and some really diehard volunteers who've been around for a long, long time called our Red Hats. And, they will take you from, never having picked up a hammer to being able to drive in a nail on one hit. So they pride themselves on being able to do that for just about everybody. And I'll tell you right now, we're going to John Cooper this Saturday for a wall build. And if the teenagers can do it, anybody can do it. So please don't let lack of experience make you shy away. We'd love to have you guys.
What is the age requirement?
So officially, we're making a little bit of an exception for John Cooper. Officially, the age requirement is 18. Because of the power tools, we can go as low as 16, but then you have to, no power tools, no nail guns. You got to swing that hammer yourself. So, yeah. So, and then at some of our indoor, the admin office or the restore, we can go, I think, as low as 14, but we like to keep it 16 and above.
Okay.
Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, thank you so much, Deborah. Yeah, it's been
Thank you.
meet you and hear about what's happening. So we'll look forward to the 29th, getting to see you in action and see the build and the site.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing you guys. And if you have any questions, Sonia and Gary both have my contact information. I'd be happy to follow up with anybody that has questions tonight.
Welcome to the new job.
Thanks. Baptism by fire, right?
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys. Have a
Deborah.
good evening.
Thanks. Bye.
You too.